So let's talk about fractions and decimals on the number line. We kind of looked at that a little bit in the previous lesson because why? If you have decimals on the number line, it's either going to be in tenths or it's going to be in whole numbers, and between each whole number is a tenth. And so label both, the fractions and the decimals. It makes the number line a lot easier. So there is our title. Make sure you scribe that down. What are we going to do each time? Count our tick marks. Whole numbers have longer tick marks. Fraction and decimals have shorter tick marks. So it makes it easier for you to know what's a whole number and what's not a whole number based on a number line that only is partially labeled. Then you want to label the entire number line. Even if it's asking you for a number that's at the beginning of the number line, label the whole thing anyway. Makes it a whole lot easier. And that way you alleviate any mistakes you might have. Label the fractions on one side, label the decimals on the opposite side. Like I said, don't cheat the math. Now, so we're looking at this number line. I don't know what the example is going to be. Right now, I know that I have 4. If I see this longer tick mark right here and here, well, for 4 is 3. After 4 is 5. They have longer tick marks. I make these really low, so it's really obvious where the whole numbers are. Then we're going to label the ones in between. This is 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, 3 and 7 tenths, 3 and 8 tenths, 3 and 9 tenths, 4.0. And we have 4.1, 4.2, 4 and 3 tenths, 4 and 4 tenths, 4 and 5 tenths, 4 and 6 tenths, 4 and 7 tenths, 4 and 8 tenths, 4 and 9 tenths. Then 5 and no tenths, 3 and 0 tenths. Opposite side, 3 and 1 tenth, 3 and 2 tenths, 3 and 3 tenths, 3 and 4 tenths, 3 and 5 tenths, 3 and 6 tenths, 3 and 7 tenths, 3 and 8 tenths, and right over here, 3 and 9 tenths. 4 and 1 tenth, 4 and 2 tenths, 4 and 3 tenths, 4 and 4 tenths, 4 and 5 tenths, 4 and 6 tenths, 4 and 7 tenths, 4 and 8 tenths, and 4 and 9 tenths. Made my number line right a little bit too big, made the number line a little bit too short, so I had to squeeze some of this in. So excuse me for my sloppiness. Now, the first one says find 3 and 2 tenths. Well, since you labeled the whole number line, look at that. Boom. Done. Next one says find 4 and 2 tenths. Since you labeled the whole number line, oh, there's 4 and 2 tenths right there. Boom. Donezo. And that is the end of our lesson. When you put this in your notebook, make sure you space everything out a little bit better than what I did.